And we are live from Chiapas, Mexico, San Cristobal de las Casas. Shabbat Shalom to everybody. It's kind of cool earlier, so I had to throw a sweater on over top of my tunic. All right, so we're going to read about the convocation, about the Shabbat, Leviticus 23, verses 1 through 3. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Bnei Yisrael, Banya Yasharala, and say unto them concerning the feasts of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of Yahweh in all of your dwellings. All right. How goodly are thy tents, O Yasharallah, O Jacob, thy dwellings, O Yasharallah. But as for me, in the abundance of thy loving kindness, will I come into thy house, and I will bow down toward thy holy temple in fear of thee. Yahweh, I love the habitation of thy house and the place where thy glory dwelleth, and I will bow down and bend the knee. I will kneel before Yahweh, my maker. But as for me, let my prayer be unto thee, O Yahweh, in an acceptable time, O Elohim. In the abundance of thy mercy, answer me with the truth of thy salvation. And from Sabbath and Sabbath, all flesh will come to bow to my face, says Yahweh. Yahweh Eloheinu, and the God of our fathers, may you be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your commandments. Grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness. Cause us to rejoice in your salvation. And purify our hearts to serve you in truth, in love and favor. Yahweh Eloheinu, our God. May you grant your holy Sabbath to us as an inheritance. Baruch atah Yahweh, who blesses the Sabbath. Abinawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash Haya, Shankar Yahweh, Malak Kat Abaa, Ratzacha Haya Isha, Baratzaka Haya Bashemayim, the Danganawa, the Kam Kali Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kabawatnawa, Tasilaknawa, Kabawatinawa, Wala Adabiyanawa, Banaserawan, Abal Haushinawa, Manri, Basham, Yeshua, Hamashiach, Aman, shall come. All right, so those are some of the opening prayers. Now, the opening reading. Let's all open our Bibles up to Psalms 91, right? 91, 92. It's different in the Greek and the Hebrew Bibles. And when we get to it, of course, we're reminded while we read it every Sabbath day. All right, Psalms 92 in the Hebrew and in English, and 91 in the Greek. When you get it, say Aman. All right, let's read it together. What's that? All right, let's start that off. Somebody start the reading. with a psalm or song for the Sabbath day. It is a good thing to give thanks unto Yahweh and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High, to show forth thy loving kindness in the morning and thy faithfulness every night, upon an instrument of 10 strings and upon the psaltery, upon the harp with a solemn sound. For thou, Yahweh, hast made me glad through thy works. I will triumph in the works of thy hands. Yahweh, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. But thou, Yahweh, art most high forevermore. For lo, thine enemies, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn shalt thou exalt like the horn of a unicorn. I shall be anointed with fresh oil. Mine eye also shall see my desire on mine enemies, and mine ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh shall flourish in the courts of Eloheinu. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing, to show that Yahweh is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Hallelujah. Now we bring in the Sabbath day, the sanctity of the Sabbath day with the kiddush, the bread and the wine, as well as the chabadath, the fellowship of the body of believers of Banya Yasharallah, of the blood and body of Hamashiach. Blessed are you, Yahweh, El Shaddai, King of eternity, who brings forth bread from the earth. Your son said, He that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth in me, and I in him. I am the living bread, he said, which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. Take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. Let's eat the bread. Okay. Blessed are you, Yahweh El Shaddai, King of eternity, creator of the fruit of the vine. Your son said, He that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth in me, and I in him. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. I will lift up the cup of salvation and call upon the name of Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. This cup is the new covenant in the blood of Hamashiach Yeshua, Yahweh. This do as oft as you drink it in remembrance of Yeshua, Yahweh Hamashiach. You drink. right. And real quick, we'll just do a little flow. We'll do a little flow in English. I'll just read the 7 verses without much commentary on it of the first 7 verses of Leviticus chapter 15, starting with verse 25. And I'll read them in English, because I don't know if we got anybody with us that speaks any other language. But I'm set to read it in English, so we'll go ahead and read it in English. Leviticus chapter 15, which deals with the woman when she's on her cycle and her separation. And it talks about when she goes over also in this chapter. Numbers chapter 15, verse 25 to 31. And a woman, if she flows with a flow of blood for rather many days, not at the time of her period, even if she flows after her period, all the days of the flow of her impurity are like the days of her period. She shall be unclean, and every bed that she lies on during all the days of her flow shall be for her as in the case of the bed of her period. And every object which she sat on shall be unclean, as in the uncleanness of her period. Anyone who touches her shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and be unclean until the evening. But if she is cleansed of the flow, there shall then be counted off for her 7 days, and after that she shall be cleansed. And on the 8th day she shall take for herself 2 turtle doves or 2 young doves, and bring them to the priest to the door of the tent of witness. And the priest shall perform one for sin and one for a whole burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her before Yahweh because of the flow of her uncleanness. And you shall make the sons of Israel cautious about their uncleanness, and they shall not die on account of their uncleanness when they defile my tent that is among them. So I will do a brief explanation of this last portion. Many people think that this portion that references the tabernacle means that these laws only apply to when we had the tabernacle among us. But it doesn't say that. It says that they will not die if they perform these sacrifices and if they observe these forms of cleanliness regarding the tabernacle, which means that it is still a form of uncleanness, but we just don't have the tabernacle and we don't incur such a heavy penalty if we don't follow these procedures and if we don't follow these parameters. That's what this verse is telling us, all right? Because initially, the Most High would have a severe penalty upon people that would think to enter into His tabernacle or into that's holy that holy section, that holy quadrant. If anyone entered in there unclean, there would be very severe consequences because of their uncleanness, not because of the tabernacle. But the uncleanness in the tabernacle zone, the tabernacle precinct, is what Yahweh had a major problem with. Okay, but the uncleanness or tameh or tama'ah is still applicable in our lifetime and forever. Okay, and these things will be implemented in the new kingdom in the kingdom of heaven, if you will. And these things are supposed to be practiced by the children of Israel now. Okay. So, believe it or not, our time together has come to a very rapid end in less than 20 minutes. So, look forward to seeing you all in 13 hours. So, get some rest. And 13 hours from now, we'll be together and we'll do the whole reading for the Sabbath day. Okay, we'll do the whole reading for the Sabbath day. And as you scroll up a little bit in the group, you'll see what the readings for tomorrow are. They're going to deal with bodily fluids as well as the Day of Atonement or the Day of Expiation. All right. And then for Saturday night, when the Shabbat is over, when Shabbat ends, Yom Rishon starts. On that day, Friday night is the Sabbath now. And Saturday night, once the Sabbath is over, we go into the Day of Nicanor. And we'll discuss that. And we're going to verses explaining the Day of Nicanor. But if you go onto the website, banyaunite.com, you will see that it is explained on the website. All right, under special days and observances, you'll see all of the information about the Day of Nicanor. Okay. So may the Most High give everybody a pleasant evening, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. We want everybody to be there, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. All right. So we'll rise. Madwa Shabbat. Madwa Barakwa. Yabalaka Ham Yahweh Bashem Yashia Mashiach. Yadimata Imadwa Shabbat. Imadwa Barakwa. Yashamar Kan Yahweh Bashem Yashia Mashiach. Kom Yahweh. Kom Yeshua Mashiach. Kom Yasha'Allah. Kom Yasha'Allah. Kom Yasha'Allah. Hallelujah. 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Israelites.
Laila Tov. Laila Tov.
Laila Tov.
Laila Tov. Good night. And Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Laila Tov. Shabbat shalom. Mashmakah.